Tell me if it's streaming.
Yes, sir, baby.
All right.
We in the building, baby. We in the building.
Start it up, bro.
Oh, so you want me to start it up?
That's right.
You want me to start it up? I'm over here.
Computer.
I'm over here.
Turn on the TV.
Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Di-RREC Gaming. Teknoblast and SIKSLAYER. And shout out to the Xbox Live community. Once again, thank you all for the support. If you like more about, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Push a dislike. Hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. Comments below. Go check some comments below. Go check my man his channel. And we're just happy to be here, y'all. And we're just happy to be here, y'all. Going in. A lot of news going in. To bring it. And us three fixing to bring it. Once again, it's on. Once again, it's on. What's going on in the gaming community, man? I'm passing the mic, man. I'm passing the mic my cereal. While I eat my
Go ahead,
cereal.
Sid. I'll let you roll right now.
Console warring over games that have potential. But I'm seeing it from both sides. Doing the same clown stuff, man. Clown stuff. It's pathetic, you know. It's pathetic. Of course, I'm talking about that. Returnal. The same situation. The same situation you saw happen with Quantum Break, happened with Quantum Break, happened games in the past, happened with the medium. Most recently with the medium. Good games. Good games of the victims of all types of chicanery. It's shameful. I feel. It's shameful. I feel. Real gamers need to cut that out.
Shit! Don't stop speaking on. Don't stop speaking on. I think. You shocked, bro. You shocked us, bro. You shocked. We wasn't even expecting that. In you because it needs to be talked about. Particularly the Xbox gamers. I see where they could some type of way to call out, the hypocrisy that was there, when it was there. But to stoop to today's level, I'm seeing a lot of people out there doing some clown moves. It's one thing to point out the hypocrisy, make it clear, it was wrong then, it's wrong now, and it's wrong now. But to stoop to the same clown methods that they were doing, I ain't with that. I ain't with that. That don't make you no better. That don't make you no better. In fact, that is just as bad as you claim to hate, and no better then. So now for you to go and do these things, I don't respect anybody who's out there doing that. So I ain't gonna mention no names. You should already know who you are. Get mad over my words over that. You probably doing it too. You probably doing it too. You need to cut it out. It is a lot of silly stuff. But we kind of know the style given from Eternal. We kind of know what the outcome is going to be. It's that same situation I used to talk about with Death Stranded, gone and Days Gone. And look what happened. Tech, you want to elaborate on that, man?
No. You guys continue. I'm trying to keep production here going because somebody told me it sounds like echoes or something.
Oh, what's up, Hyperfame? Yeah, give us feedback, man. Give us feedback, man. I don't hear anything. man.
Now, you guys go ahead and continue on. I'm gonna try to figure it out.
All right. Well, yeah. All right.
Go ahead, C.
Yeah.
Go ahead, C.
No, that's really all I have to get into the details later. As they come up. But you see it on Twitter. You see it on Twitter. It's one thing to point out the hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. Like what happened with the game with 720 games, 720 all types, techniques to get the quality, That was one thing. But now we see Returnal does the same thing. And Xbox fans now acting a clown the same way. With the same clown methods. Not cool. Not cool for gaming. Not cool for gaming. For Xbox. Not cool for Xbox. It's not cool. It's not cool. And I don't have no respect for it at all. And there are some people I respected out there, but and they're doing that, and I'm losing respect for you guys when you're out there, perpetrating like this. It's not cool. Period.
Look, we're getting no, you're good, Sick. We're getting an echo, and Tech is trying to fix this situation now. I don't hear it, so it's weird.
No, you guys keep talking. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah, because I'm on a headset. I shouldn't be generating any thing. But
thanks for everybody. Thanks for Joel. Thanks for Hyperfame for letting us know.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, we're good now. So look, all right, check this out. Since we're good, we're gonna start this over. We do this for them. Thank you guys for coming out. It's the new legal, of course. I got my man Teknoblast. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning. Thanks for holding us down and letting us know about it. I got Teknoblast. I got SIKSLAYER in the building, and the mighty Xbox community over in the chat room. We're so grateful. If you're new to the channel and you like what we're about, please subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. Put a like. Put a dislike. Go head over to the Teknoblast's channel as well as we continue to keep giving you guys the goods. Thanks to everybody once again. We're starting over. And Sick, begin, man. Start with the same topic again. And, because I believe that it caught us off guard. We wasn't thinking about that, but I'm glad you brought that up because I'm hearing a lot of that too. So bring that right back up, brother.
Yeah. So Returnal's out there. You know, new game for PS5. Game that shoots like Recore. Is what do you call that? A roguelike, or rogue light, depending on if you keep stuff or not. I'm sorry, there's always a phone want to call.
You good, bro?
From the same folks. But anyway, people out there. So frustrating because the person should know better. Anyway,
see the calls are coming in, man. There's hot news coming in all the time.
It's a mess with. Hey, it's a mess. I'm sorry, not a. It's messing with Tech, but no, it's a mess with Sick moment. Tech, we got to mess with him.
So yes, Returnal. It doesn't even matter if you like the game or not.
Right.
That's not really the debate here. I feel is a lot like what happened with Quantum Break. The game apparently runs at a lower res, and they do all types of upscaling tricks and techniques, to get the game looking right on the screen. So Returnal does the same thing, and there's people who pointing that out, and that's fair too, because Returnal was advertised as a 4K 60 game. Come to find out, it's 1080p 60, and they're doing all types of tricks to get it there. That's one thing to bring up. You want to bring that up and debate on, on the value of that or whatever. That's cool. That's how gaming is. We discuss things like that in the community, right? But particularly if you're an Xbox fan, to see what happened with Quantum Break, and most recently the Medium. There's another game. They did all types of techniques or whatever to get the resolution up to what it is, and it's running 2 instances at a time. Of course. There was a lot of clowning out there. From PlayStation guys, Xbox guys think this is their opportunity to get some get back, and I understand that. Yeah. But a lot of you are stooping to the level of the thing you claim to hate, and you're doing it exactly the same way. And for me, you get no respect out of me. You're gonna get a lot of disrespect if you keep acting the same way. I don't want to name no name because there are people out there who I respect or respected, and you've instantly lost respect with me. That's already
was that me?
Okay. Nah. Like I said, there's certain names out there. I feel guys are clowning a little too hard. And if it's you, you already know.
Right.
You already know.
Yeah, man. It's funny that you brought that up because
I'll be right back.
Oh, you good? It's funny that he brought that up because it's the same thing that has been going on. And if it's the same thing that's been going on, how can that be next generational stuff? If they're still having to do little tricks to get your graphical image up to a 4K standard, how is that next generation? If we've been doing that since last gen, what makes it next generation now? It doesn't. See, what I'm starting to see is a lot of paddywhacking going on. It's good as long as Sony can pull things off, advertise things, and lie about the truths of how a game is going to be revealed, how a game is going to be performing. It's all good when it's in the favor of Sony doing it. But Microsoft always gets backlash when they do things to make their games look good. But have you ever noticed Microsoft never played the resolution game? They never played that. They've always played the technological game. So people want to know what I'm talking about. When the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 came out, the key word with how Microsoft was approaching their graphic capability was through dynamic resolution. Dynamic resolution. It was ahead of its game because nobody in the gaming industry was using dynamic resolution. And what dynamic resolution has to deal with is the individual pixels within each circle. You know, each little dot, each little pixel, illuminates or brings out the color in its section. This is why Sunset Overdrive looked as good as it did, because they were using dynamic resolution. What PlayStation 4 was just using was some anti-aliasing tricks, but they at some point could get native 1080p. But we find out that was a lie. We found out that a lot of their stuff was what? Checkerboard. Checkerboard is what? A 20 to 30-year-old method. It's nothing new. And if you're still checkerboarding, which Sony still does, and it's funny because Six said that was the kind of stuff that we used to get persecuted about last year. And this is the foolishness, right? Because when you really think about it, checkerboarding is a technology. It's a way to, enhance detail within games. You know what I mean? And the fact that people would make fun of techniques, that's why we got silly. That's why it's so silly today. Because on our end, it's not about checkerboarding. We don't care. It's kind of like what Tech say. I'm not a game developer, and I'm not a business. I don't care about any of that. All I care about at the end of the day, if the game is good or if the game isn't. That's all really gamers care about. We don't. It's just like the last show. With Dirk, when he said we don't care about frame rates. I know what he was talking about. We never did. That stuff started with Digital Foundry, being precise in details about games and frame rates.
Yeah. We
never cared about that stuff. But I get it. Now that people are educated, we use that for jabs at each other. I get it. But let's not forsake the truths. And I think what Sick brought up you started this up good, and the show needed to start like this. I'm glad it did, because the truths are we can't abandon what we felt before and then try to act like we've never felt like that before. When it no longer makes sense, like we were saying for 7 years, this stuff isn't going to make sense. And I both said, you're going to die by it. I want y'all to keep it up, because next generation, you're going to have to die by it. You're going to have to fall on your own sword. And so now today, we even see, once again, the media outlets trying to pamper for Sony. Metacritic finally came out. Metacritic been quiet for a while, but now here's Metacritic. Why? Because here's why. Sony came out with their report card. Let's get this facts. Sony came out with the report card. The report card made fun of them, but before the report card made fun of them, they sent their cheerleaders out. Metacritic, the gaming journalisms, journalisms, and the journalists, the articles, all of that stuff, the gaming media, all of that stuff. Forgive me.
AstroTurfing, basically.
Facts. They sent their diabolical defenders out. The PlayStation defenders sent them out. Why? To confuse their masses, to get their masses into believing what is not going to be true. We see this stuff over and over again, right? So then immediately, what does it do? It triggers a social media run. We start seeing them go on Facebook. We start seeing them go to Instagram. We start seeing them go to Twitter. That's exactly what Sony wants them to do, right? But at the same time, Sony knows they're dumb. That's why they do this stuff. They know they're dumb. They know they're ignorant. And they know they show their stupidity. But Sony depends on that. Because they can't.
And they know that they will hide for them.
Right. Yes. And that's exactly why we're talking about this. Because they hide for them. They do cover-up schemes. And look, man, what's funny, and I got to give a shout-out to Freddie Fox. Because Freddie Fox hit me up, man. And he was telling me about how Digital Foundry was doing their analysis for their analysts on Returnal, man. And it was hilarious when they found out the game was doing that 1080p. When they're doing that 1080p upscale. And he says now they brush it off, acting as if 1080p upscale is cool. See, the funny, what SIKSLAYER is trying to say is, How can you do a 360? If it was wrong or funny or messed up then, how is it good today? We need answers, man.
Yeah. Because it's Sony.
Right.
Sony can do no wrong, baby. Woo!
Facts. And you wonder why Tech got a show like this. People wonder. It's not, man. And you know, and then, Tech's a hater. Sick and Legal are fanboys. That's how weak the industry is. But nobody wants to talk gaming. Nobody really wants to talk gaming. Come on, y'all.
Because I can talk about Returnal. I don't see, because no one in my mind, at least in my mind, can say that the game is whack. Now you might want to dispute, the cost of the game and if it's worth that price, and that's a conversation that the community should have, no doubt. But to trash the game because it's an opposite platform or whatever like that, no, the game looks good enough that you can't just outright dismiss it. That's out the window, okay?
Right.
So if you're a fanboy looking for that,
that's not here.
Just stop.
Right.
If you open your mouth and say that, everybody's gonna know Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC. Everybody will look at you and know you are that.
Right.
But if you want to debate, the price value, you want to debate the merits of the game, the difficulty, the animations, the plot, all those things. That's cool. That's what gaming is supposed to be about. But if you're trying to use it for console warring, if you're trying to be a hypocrite, that's the type of thing I know I hate over many other things, many things that people could claim or do. But if you're a hypocrite, I have no respect for you. And to be honest, I think the PlayStation community had a lot of hypocrites last generation. They did all types of hypocritical things. But as you noticed, even before this generation began, ever since the Game Awards, when Xbox was revealed and announced that 12 teraflops, ever since then, it's been a problem. Every one of their narratives, every one of the things they claimed, one by one, has been destroyed. So now, if you even try to say one of those things, you're exposed as the hypocrite you are. So, and that's for PlayStation gamers who talked all that crap before. So you Xbox gamers, you're gonna get it twice as bad if you do that stuff. Because we see what it is now, and you still want to perpetrate that, you're worse than them because you claim that you hated the fact that they did that, the fact that they acted that way. For you to act the way now, you're done with me. You're done with me, and I'll never look at you the same because it means everything you said since 2013 at the minimum meant nothing. You were a liar the whole time. You're not a gamer. You're full of garbage. And I'm keeping my words real neat right now because I could say some other things. So we'll leave it at that. But
no, you're right.
I wish you could say them so I can use some sort of boop button.
All right, that's funny. Tech. We're gonna touch on.
So that is true.
No, we're gonna touch on some of the chat in here. We're gonna touch on the chat. Let's go up. First of all, I got to do the shout out.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Hyperfame. Shout outs to Keep It Flat for Life. Shout outs to Joel. Shout outs to
Dirt.
Big Boy Mike. Shout outs to Shit Snow Elite. Shout outs to Malik Weeks. Shout outs to Dirt Griggity.
Dirt.
Okay. I just want to get that out of the way right now. Thank y'all for coming in right off the top. Now, Shit Snow Elite made he ended with a good comment right here. He says it don't matter. They will just create new narratives to whine about. That's so true. He also said, to be honest, Returnal looks fun to me. And when or if I get a PlayStation 5, I'll play it. But I don't think it would be getting all this attention if it wasn't exclusive. Facts. Okay. Shiz Elite, he's on a tear. It's 1080p upscale, not native, and I understand it. Facts. Damn, he's on fire. To be honest, about the 4K 1080p, as long as the game looks good to me, but I get so sick of all the hypocrites that call Xbox for lower res, but don't call Sony for the same. Exactly. Joel said the medium was destroyed because of ponies. Big boy, fellas, what's good, fam? Joel says Sony knows how to sell the fish by paying you YouTubers to review. Okay, Lewis L in the building. Black Jedi in the building. I just wanted to hit y'all up and look, feel free, Tech or Sid, to respond to them in the chat room while we're talking.
Oh yeah,
I just wanted to
that's what I'm doing.
touch on some of this stuff. But I just wanted them to know we see y'all. Keep those comments going. Keep it real so when people come to the show and they're looking at y'all's comments as well, y'all are here. Like I said, Di-RREC Gaming goal was to make sure the community had a voice. This isn't we don't make money off of y'all's voices. I don't have a super chat, all right? So this is built for you guys to be just a part of this show. We may not be able to squeeze all y'all in. Y'all may not have computers and stuff, but you're in that comment section, and I want y'all to know, treat it like such. You are part of this family. You're a part of this culture, man. We're gamers. But my problem, here's my problem. I'm gonna keep it a trillion. I am glad that the PlayStation community finally has a game that's not a walkthrough. Hold your hand, soap opera, story-driven, high cinematic, very emotional, agenda game. I'm glad they don't have that right now. They got a game where they're going to actually have to use some skill. Now watch this, y'all. On the basis of a game where they're going to have to actually use a skill, they call that game too hard. This is facts. They said the game is too hard. This came out of people's mouths.
Mm-hmm.
How is a game too hard? How? You got a gun. You shoot things. Welcome to Xbox. Returnal is nothing but a new age record. This is why we act the way we act. We don't act the way we act because we hate your games. We act the way you act because the gaming industry shoots to you, gives you a vaccine shot as if what you're playing is something revolutionary.
Yeah.
We've seen it on Twitter. We had the dude up there talking about Ratchet and Clank. Oh, this is what got me. It's the most beautiful game I've ever seen in gaming.
You must not have seen a lot of games, bro.
That game, how
To me, it looked like a very upscale Super Lucky Tales. The Ratchet and Clank.
Colors, bro. Right, a bunch of colors.
Yeah.
It's
it's just a higher resolution Ratchet and Clank from PS3. Like graphically, it's just up-res. It's the same level of effects and design, just in 4K, and it may not even be real 4K. Seeing what happened with Returnal, because even I fell for it. Even I thought Returnal was going to be real 4K, because that's what they were advertising.
Of course, they always do that.
If that's advertising it. But I thought if they were advertising it this time, and they were advertising that heavily, that because it was true, and this time no one could tell them no different. But apparently it was.
Yeah.
Even I.
Well, they advertise 8K on the box of their Xbox. I mean, PlayStation. So.
And you can't even do that. You can't even do that.
It's like, I just want to say I see you, man. He's right. Yep. We act how we do because because they're hypocrites. I remember when the kiddie games weren't good.
Yeah. We didn't come up with this act here. You know, we're going off what they did to us in the past. You know, they said. Recore wasn't good enough. They said, games like Super Lucky Tales wasn't good enough because they're cartoony and for kids. Oh, but look at Ratchet and Clank. It's revolutionary. Oh my God, it's the new age of gaming.
Right, Louis L. Game Pass is the key. I played all Yakuza games, and I'm currently playing Outriders. Joel, Ratchet and Clank is a great game, but not worth the hype and the price. I just want to read a couple of these statements. They're all right. Here's the thing. It's funny to me how Ratchet and Clank, right, embodies all our games in one. And I'm talking about as far as sequels. We only have 5 Halos. 5 official Halos. I'm not talking about the branches. I'm not talking about ODST. I'm not talking about Reach, okay? I'm talking about Halo in general. The story of Halo, off the top, Master Chief, 5 series. We only got 4 series of Forza Horizon 4. We got 8 of Forza Motorsport.
So what? So Halo. So Halo, what? In 20 years, pretty much has been every 4 or 5 years.
Right.
Yeah. A couple of years. Yeah.
Gears 5. Gears of War 5. What else? I said Fable 3. Working on our 4th. You know, and it's like I'm using those for some examples.
Well, it's never going to be good enough.
And there's only 3 resistances because it wasn't worth making a 4th or 5th or 6th. Sorry.
Right, but where I'm going with this is Ratchet and Clank is what? This is like their 16th version? Their 16th version of the game?
Yeah.
Ratchet and 16th. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't, how can you tell an Xbox gamer that we're playing the same games over and over again? When in actuality, all you getting is remasters and old sequel games. Ratchet, it's just a new story, but it's Ratchet and Clank. Let's be real. It's Ratchet and Clank.
Peep this though. This is something that ties into Returnal as well. But
there's 19.
So Returnal.
19 Ratchet and Clanks.
Yeah.
19, bro.
Nearly 20. So this is going to be 20 or this is going to be number 19?
No, this is 19.
Okay. So if you look at Returnal, there's a special edition for $80. I think it gives you the soundtrack or whatever. And on the box it says PS4. And even I didn't know about that. And I didn't expect.
Wait, what?
For Returnal. It says something about PS4 on the box of the deluxe version, which is $80. I think it comes with the soundtrack. And I think, they're talking about DLC or something. I'm not sure exactly, but PS4 is also written on the box somewhere in the back, right? And you're already nodding your head. See, there you go. You already see it coming. Listen, and even I fall for it. Once again, I had no expectation that this game would be on PS4, and it hasn't been announced officially or nothing. And even also, I said this last night on GRG, because internally the game is running 1080p even on the PS5. How low would they have to run on the PS4 to get it to run? Equivalently, considering the
so would it be 720 on the PS4?
I guess, but it just goes to show every hot game from Sony is also coming to PS4, right? So Ratchet and Clank is another one because, like I said, it looks like the Ratchet and Clank that was on the PS3, the one that finally got to the level where it was like CG. In fact, they made a CG movie where they used the same character assets, and they made a movie. So that was when Ratchet and Clank reached that level in a way it looked like a CG cartoon, right? So this new game is to that level, right? At 4K, supposedly. We don't know. Right. I'm not saying it is or isn't, right? So here's the thing about that, though. This is the PS5. It's expensive. It's hard to get. Who's the target audience of a game like that? It would be your son, Teknoblast.
Yeah.
It would be your son. Not that you wouldn't play it or not, but he's the target audience. Yeah. A kid. So how many kids could they sell this game to right now? Not very many. So as you're saying all this things, I'm realizing, this Ratchet and Clank is coming to PS4. Guaranteed. It's coming to PS4. It's coming to PS4 Pro because there's not enough systems out there or people to play the game to get back their investment. It's just like with these movies. They're not going to get back this investment on the PS5 only. This game is coming to PS4. I should have realized it a long time ago. The same with Returnal. I just didn't catch that. But there you go. To me, it makes sense. So everybody's talking about Ratchet and Clank. It seems like it's probably just the old ones. Not the old ones in terms of game because it's a new game. But it's to the same level, just in 4K. Is there more effects or whatever? And they got the SSD to do the loading. But we've seen many examples of that in games for ages. Okay, there's an example of...
It was in Titanfall 2, bro.
Crash Team Racing.
It was in Crash Team Racing.
That's nothing new.
They act like this is what I'm talking about, man. Either you got to stop showing that your fan base has a lack of knowledge in gaming. I'm trying to... And you know what? Look, here's the messed up part. And this is what I'm talking about with all real gamers. We're talking the real language out here. People don't want their feelings hurt. People think that we're bashing a company. We're not bashing a company. We're discussing the pros and the cons. All right, you have to live. We're living in a real world, and my problem with Returnal is that I know it's going to give PlayStation fans a hard time. That's not the type of game they used to play. They play Call of Duty and soap opera games. On top of the fact that every game that comes out daring is, if it ain't AAA blockbuster, they don't really support it.
I hate that.
They don't support it because in their mind they got something to prove. If it ain't gonna be a Gotti, they don't support it. So their mindsets are not even good for the industry. Their mindsets aren't good for the industry. On top of that, when you die in this game, you gotta start over, bro. But to say
and a run can take 2 hours, and that could be a failed run.
Oh God!
Sick. It's not so much of that.
So it's very punishing.
It's not so much of that, Tech, right? It's not really. Here's the issue. There's no saving. There's no saving. That's just another knock. And that's another...
come on. There's got to be some saving, some kind of progression. That's, you know...
If your run is successful, yeah. If not, you lose everything.
Wow.
Sick.
There's some permanent upgrades you could buy, and you keep those, but it's a roguelike. So no. And runs can be long.
It goes back to our prediction. We're in April, Tech, and we still see the ripple effects of this console.
Yeah.
Look, Ratchet and Clank was really supposed to be out day one. Mm-hmm. We know this. But the malfunction of the console kept it from coming out, right? This SSD was supposed to be their selling point. It didn't sell the console. Look at this game, right? Look at this game.
And it's looked completed for a long time.
Right. Ratchet and Clank, to be an animated game, it's not like it even gets a pass. It's really not even a big deal. They were trying to say that, oh, it's the most demanding version. Well, it should be. It's 2021. They were showing things in the sky. What cracked me up is on that 15-minute show, and we're going to talk about that state of play. We're going to talk about it. But what got me was when they tried to say 7 birds in the sky was like active animation. There was heavy active animation, and all you saw was like 7 birds in the sky flying around. And I'm sitting here like, it's like, to us, you can't fool us. Like, it's got to be like 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kids.
Bro, your hands are in your face. Like, your face is buried in your hands. I don't even roll my eyes anymore when I see crap like this from Sony because it's just so typical. I don't even go. I'm just like, there's not. It's all the time when it comes to that. All the time.
Because you know why I'm doing this, fam? Because it hurts me to say it. It's killing me to even talk like this.
I don't even react anymore. I've seen it.
Well, you say, fam, you're immune to it.
I love Lamp.
I'm used to it. I've seen it all the time.
Sick. I can't make this stuff up.
Do the whole side mouth move.
Right. What I want the real Xbox fans to understand is you're not crazy. You're not going insane. What you see is exactly what we're saying, and we are the echoes of you guys. Y'all aren't lying out here, okay? Despite on how people feel and think that you're just being a hater, you're not. The reason why it's people like us that don't want that nobody wants to give us the recognition is because we don't pamper to the feelings of social media. We're not pampers. You know, we're not here to sit here and be like, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's just a great game, and you're not gonna talk about the lies or the fakeness that's going on. Look, I'm gonna have to put my console on rest mode. And rest mode was a feature that still today doesn't properly work right. How in the world can you make sense out of that?
I forgot about all that.
This is my issue. It ain't nothing about the game, right? I could care less about the game. I'm not buying a PlayStation 5. I don't care about Returnal. I'm not. If I don't play Returnal, I'm not missing out on anything.
Right.
Because I've already played games like it. Just like Ratchet and Clank, right? Sunset Overdrive gave us all the experiences that they're having in 3 games. Well, in 2 games. Spider-Man, Miles Morales, that's Sunset Overdrive. Ratchet and Clank, what's this called? Rips apart or whatever it's called. What is it called?
Rip your butt.
Whatever it's called, bro.
A rift in something?
Yeah. The new Ratchet and Clank game, right? It's Sunset Overdrive. Did you see how he scaled? Did you see how they tried to act like he jumps in the air and he has side platforms that he hits and runs across and jumps across doing that in Marvel's Avengers with the Hulk, for goodness sake. There's nothing. We've been doing that with Titanfall.
Grinding on rails. Sonic has been doing that since before the turn of the century. This turn of the century. Some of y'all weren't even around when this started and want to talk to us about it. It's just like, okay, ripped apart. Thanks a lot, Joel.
There you go. Joel with the info.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog. I hate you right now. I hate you.
With your soap shoes, man. They had the official branding, yo. What are you talking about? Like, the grinding shoes. That's a thing that was around in 99 that kids had, and they put it on Sonic. Like, come on. He does this in games.
What was the game called on Dreamcast?
Sonic Adventure?
No. What was it? Jet Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
There it is.
Or is it Jet Grind? I forget which is which.
Where he actually grinded where it actually showed
like skates.
Sparks.
Yeah.
Skates. That technique.
That's before the Sonic. Actually, no, it's not. But
no, it was after. Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Sonic was first. So,
but you're right. The sparks came with the skates, but when we did it on Sunset Overdrive, it felt like the same thing. It was the same thing. Now when you run on the side of the walls, on the buildings, that's Miles Morales.
Yep.
It's the same thing. When I saw it happen in Ratchet and Clank's new game on the state of play, the same thing. Not to mention that it's Insomniac creating this game. Like, y'all gotta stop with the nonsense. We gotta talk this, man. We got to be. If we're gonna talk gaming, we gotta take all that. Oh well. Here's the problem, man. The problem is voices are being sealed up for channels. You can't. Channels are ruining honesty. YouTube channels are ruining honesty. That's all it is to it, man. People don't want to be honest. And you don't want to look too strong this way.
Yeah.
Or that way, because you want that little bit of room to sneak around with the coffee and hypocrisies. Yep.
That's it. And that's the problem. You get what I'm saying? And this is why Returnal, we know what the outcome's going to be. I don't care what Metacritic says and how many reviews and how good the gatekeepers of Sony's PlayStation industry say about this game. They're not going to show you that they're playing it. Because when they die, guess what?
That's it.
They're starting back over. That's not their type of game.
Yep.
The PlayStation community is fronting hard on this game. Most of them that you see on Twitter don't even have a PlayStation 5. I don't front on nothing. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't. But you best believe if I say Xbox Series X, it's because I got one. If I'm talking about my experience, it's because I'm in real true next gen. I'm still waiting on my biggest TV. I want my biggest TV. I want my biggest experience. I'm debating monitor TVs and what. So I'm relying on my community. There's been some good stuff being said out here. But all in all, right? I'm with y'all. I'm tired of the hiding behind things. This game is gonna put people to bed. It's gonna make people mad. It's gonna frustrate these PlayStation fans. We know that.
Let me tell you something about that frustration, because these people aren't real gamers and this whole situation is going to prove it. Because first and foremost, we were talking about how gamers were back in the day. And these roguelikes, particularly this one, right? It's about you lose everything. So you got to have your skills up. You as the gamer have to be the one that upgrades throughout the play of the game, right?
Right.
People claim to love that because you claim to love Bloodborne and now Demon Souls, okay? But you really don't, because the sales don't seem to match up with your words once again, just like with baseball, right? But you as the gamer have to get good. And I guarantee you're right that these gamers won't get good at the game. They just sit there and complain. Plus, when your runs are hours long and the game is crashing before a run is done, and it's looking like you've amassed the skills and you know the timing with the enemies and what to do in certain situations, you finally on point, and you in a long run where you got a lot of items and you waiting to cash out at the end, game crash on you.
Right.
I've seen plenty of that on Twitch and on YouTube already, and this game just
I can already feel the frustration.
People are going to remember that. People are going to remember
something happened
on
with
this game, and games like it need to be fixed. Outriders is another example too, so it's not a PlayStation specific thing. Gamers need to demand better of these companies and of themselves, because you act the way like you deserve and don't care when these things happen. And that's why they keep doing it to us.
Well, see, well, you know what? Over here on Xbox, we have a real SSD chip. We have real external hard drives, and we can put them as high as we want. There's no exception. They don't care. It's not like there's a firewall on our storage capacity, right? I know people that's got 30, 50, teraflops of storage, because it's insane the type of stuff they put on their Xbox, right?
Yeah.
They put everything.
Right. And just like Joel said, wall walking is a Prince of Persia thing.
Mm-hmm.
So true. I'll tell you another thing that's Prince of Persia. The what you call it? The button mashing the cinematic experience, button mashing cinematic experiences. Remember when the time slowed down? Because Prince of Persia was about that, the time sand. Remember? You slow time down to defeat your enemies, but it would tell you when to hit X. It would tell you when to hit Y. All that transformed into God of War. And they try to make that seem like when it happened with God of War, it was epic.
You don't even jump in God of War anymore.
Oh, heck, Quantum Break had that slow time too, as long as you shoot the bubble one or whatever it did.
That's right.
Quantum Break. But of course, they won't give it credit at all until God of War came out. They're like, oh, check this out.
Because Quantum Break tech hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
That if you still play that game, it still plays best and look best on Xbox.
It looks so good
PC
still.
Gamers can't even brag about it.
Yeah, PC gamers. Yeah, when PC gamers said they could run it at a higher, they could.
They were lying.
But they could. But
they could not. It's locked.
It was killing PCs. They couldn't do no 4K. It was killing PCs too.
But it cannot be.
Can't handle the upscaling past at the time.
Exactly.
Let's say 1440p. It just was killing PCs too.
Now, Sick, I'm glad you mentioned that. And that's the difference between why you can always utilize stuff and do tricks with consoles that you can't do with PC. The PC has to take that code for what it is. It can't change it. It can never change. It can only do frames per second, right? Up, down, scale, resolution, latency happens. Latency occurs.
Yeah.
But as time goes, consoles are becoming devices where they can use tricks. They can come back, change the game up. They can do whatever. This is why now you're starting to see 120, the frame boost system.
Yeah. And all HDR. Yeah. PC has an app like that. It's called Special K. And the fact that Microsoft started doing Special K built into the Xbox, that's blowing my mind. Because I'm a fan of a game of Ace Combat, right? And that's one game that didn't have HDR. And of all the games you fly in the sky, you see the sun, the clouds, all that, you would think HDR would be in it. It wasn't. So on PC, they had this app, Special K. And the only reason I know about it was because of Ace Combat. It had the HDR in, it could do other things like that. The Xbox is all built in. This is what I always liked about the Xbox platform. It brought the advanced technologies and things they're doing on the PC, and they brought it to the console arena. They made it simple. You don't even have to think about it. It's just a checkbox. Auto HDR, boom. Frame boost, boom. Checkbox. Quick resume. The PC don't even have quick resume. The PC doesn't even have quick resume. But they have it in emulators, but they don't have it in real PC games. You know, certain games might have quick save and stuff, but we're talking about quick resume is a whole different thing that even PC doesn't have. And they make those things simple.
Sick. Look, man. When you're talking about quick resume, right? And you're talking about technology, right? The funny part about this, I gotta move all my stuff around, man. Forgive me, y'all. It's not enough room, but I'm trying to orchestrate the crowd and the show at the same time. There we go. I got it right now. Okay, so it's funny that you said that because those are they define what next generation is. See, yep. I was talking to a PlayStation fan earlier today, and he could never tell me what's next generation for PlayStation 5. So he kept talking about the games that we're not having, of course. And I told him, you can keep talking. I'm not in the mood to clown you right now, but if when you do, you'll activate me and I'll have to clown you soon. Kept going. So I said, listen, do you have anything like velocity architecture? Do you have anything like machine learning, mesh shaders? Do you have anything like hardware real-time ray tracing? Do you have anything like quick resume? Now, I wanted to go to quick resume. What makes quick resume so beautiful is what they don't understand is if we're playing like 5 AAA games, up to probably 5 or 7 of them we can use quick resume for. Mm-hmm. If we're playing AA to indie games, we can quick resume like 12 games. The thing about quick resume is I can actually stop. I can do what Returnal can't do. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
What Returnal can't give you, I can give you 5 times, depending to 12 times, depending on the game.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yep.
I'm glad I see you, Tech. Keep doing it. It's bread and butter. It's right there. The truths are right there. It's in the eyes. Nobody's being deceived. They haven't made a game that looks like that. Quantum Break is on another level. Quantum Break is next generation. Look at that right there.
It still looks great.
Even control. The next game in the line from the same developer. A lot of people say they like Quantum Break more. And the thing is, I haven't played either one too heavily, but when I play Control, it's too clean. Look at the game right now. I'm looking at it right now. He's on the phone, objectives, and it's an outside world with color. Meanwhile, he's inside with the pillars and all that. There's detail. In Control, it's flat.
Yeah.
It's
because I guess because you're inside a building the whole time, right?
Yeah, but in Quantum Break, there's lots of indoor and outdoor, and there's always detail and stuff. The only time in Quantum Break that I see anything that even looks like it is when he's in the labs and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only time where it looks similarly clean. Other than that, there's all types of various, environments. I mean, yeah, he's walking through now. He's outside. There's a statue in front of him. Apparently, he can hit the Y button, go talk to that. There's detail. I'm seeing it now. There's
no. Go back, Tech. Go back. Oh, you're not playing. Oh, it's just look at that one part.
Yeah.
Did y'all not see the bottom part of that? Where it showed the bottom of that area down there too? I bet y'all didn't even know what I was talking about. I wish you could go back.
Tough.
All right, there you go. Keep going. Watch this. Look right there. Now look inside of that. Where you see the statue, look down. Look at that.
That's the level. That's the level. Yep. Eventually you'll be
ridiculous detail.
Yep.
Ridiculous detail. Look at that right there.
The first game that really did that wasn't Halo, even though Halo did it. It was a game on the Xbox on launch. It was called Zurich.
Uh-oh.
You would go from a grand outdoor area into inside with no loading. And they started that because they put a hard drive in there. This is basically the same thing happening now, but you're seeing a variation of environments and Control really didn't have that. I'm not saying that Control isn't a good game or whatever, but a lot of gamers have said this, that they like Quantum Break more. And just like a lot of people are realizing how great Rise was from launch, right? People are understanding the artistry and the detail that was in the game. Yeah, it runs at a lower internal resolution, but you see what you get in trade-off?
But even then, at a low resolution, you can't tell. It looks that awesome looking.
Right. And that's the same thing Returnal did. It's running at a low res, and they upscale it because there's these techniques. It's built into the hardware. On PlayStation, they had checkerboarding on the PS4 Pro. That was built in. The Xbox was doing that in software because it was good enough to handle it without
Joe, Sick, I wanted to say something. Didn't want to cut you off. I didn't want to. I'm trying to hold to this thought. Now, the stuff that you're saying, notice how all that was being done on the Xbox.
Yep.
This is why we act the way we act. Quantum Break came out when? Did it come out during the 14? Xbox One series? Or did it come out during Xbox One? I mean, the Xbox One, when I mean series, but the Xbox One, I'm talking about the S or the X.
No, it came out launch.
Yeah, it was launch.
So within that spring.
Yeah.
It came out, no, Quantum Break came out in 2000, was it 16? Yeah, Quantum Break came out after Gears 4 or something.
Yeah, actually you're right, because remember, this was the game
2016, April 2016.
April 2016. So 2016. You know why you're right too? Because that was the game, you know what his name with the Gears tattoo on his weapon PlayStation. That's the game he beefed over with Phil Spencer.
But the new S's didn't come out until that holiday season, didn't it?
Right, that same year, but later on that year. Right, so before the
S. It was Xbox One.
Yeah, it was Xbox One. Yep.
Look, now watch this, y'all. I can give you 4 games within the regular Xbox One that has so much technology and so much passion that it makes PlayStation games look silly. 1, this is our debut game. Look what text got up there. Our debut game. I have yet to see PlayStation drop a debut game that looks like this. Ever in their history. Ever.
And you see the way it performs, it moves around like...
Look, bro, the cloud. Look at the flags. This is the passion. I want y'all to see the air without seeing it. Look at the moment. Look at the movements, I mean. Look at the battles. Now, I want everybody to feel your boy right here. This is what they don't like. They don't like this kind of language. They don't like this kind of talk. What was all of this talk about? Look at all the stuff in the background. We've had that on our debut game. You see people down there fighting. You see flags floating, flapping around. You see the weather pattern. You see accuracy. You see a war going on. You see a fire in the background. You see billows of smoke in a minute. We had all of this stuff. And look, on our first console 7 years ago, this was debut stuff. This wasn't technology had to catch up to the hardware. And as time went, we utilized with the new technology. Nah, we had this stuff up to come. Rise, Son of Rome is the Godfather. It's the Godfather, right? Second one.
Look at that.
3. Yeah, look at this. Dead Rising 3. Oh, Deagle's talking out of his head now. Dead Rising 3 was only 720p. There's a reason why it was only 720p.
Look at all those damn zombies over there.
There you go.
So many assets in there.
Facts. There was 2 million distinct. Let me say that again. There was 2 million distinct zombies. There was not one zombie in that game that was a copycat. That was a duplicate.
Look at this part.
Every zombie was original.
And it wasn't just a mix of assets where you mathematically mix up the assets and you get 2 million. No, they did that. You could see they had them each different in a certain way. It wasn't just a math where this texture is red, the next one is the same guy but blue, and that counts as one. No, it wasn't like that. They were very...
It wasn't like that, man. There wasn't one that's the same. You can even go look this documentary up. I put it out on Twitter, but you can look it up. It's Dead Rising 3 documentary. Type that on YouTube and listen to what the developers had to say. It's truly remarkable. That's my second one. The third one was the Master Chief Collection, an anthology of solid 60 frames per second. That blew my mind away. Instant swap over with graphics. You can by a touch of a button, you can go back and look at how it looked classic.
Oh yeah.
Right. Or touch the button and look more moderate, you know? But the frames per second was there. The experience was there. That's 3. Number 4. I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. Forza Horizon 2 changed the way we race with cars. Changed, and we're not even going to talk about Forza Horizon 3, but those 2 games for car racing and people, car enthusiasts. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
Car enthusiasts changed the way we look at cars. Then I would say the next one would be Quantum Break. Then Quantum Break came. You can't tell me that those 5 games are the epitome. They're like the epitome. And I can put them up against any play. I can put them up against the whole 7-year PlayStation catalog. And none of their games come close. None of them. Uncharted don't come close. Gran Turismo certainly doesn't come close. And look, you notice how I didn't even bring out the heavyweights. I didn't even bring out Halo 5 or Gears 4. I didn't even talk about them.
You don't have to make the point.
No need to. We'll keep it right here with these games. And that's the thing. This is why we don't get so excited. We've seen it before. We don't have to get excited. We're not missing out on anything. If anything, we've gained more. We've gained more being Xbox gamers. We don't play 19 versions of the same game. You know, the media's not going to call you out because the media pampers you. They put diapers on y'all. But we don't have 19 series games. We don't have that. Doesn't even exist.
Yeah, if you believe the press, Xbox only has Halo, Gears, and Forza. Really?
Right.
If it was only Halo, Gears, and Forza, then what's Sony's problem? Why aren't they just completely dominating? Because they're not. Don't tell me they are. Yeah, they're dominating. That's why MLB
because they're not.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna put the game we paid you to make on the other guy's system, and you're not gonna get no extra money for it because we already paid you to develop it, and we're gonna publish it. That way, you don't even get that piece that way.
Yeah.
Because you're dominating. Right. Okay.
I wanna say this real quick. Tech, Sick, chat room. They better hope this game isn't scalebound that supposedly has dragons in it.
It's not scalebound. I definitely want to talk about that, and I was saying that last night when PK was
I just wanted to put that back in their hearts, fam.
Oh, no doubt. But when PK was asked, because he didn't know the situation, so K-Maker told him, explained to him, oh, there's this game. It's been rumored, except the rumor is coming out, from some people who, who's been accurate before, blah, blah, blah. It involves dragon. First question he asked, is this a new IP? Meaning, is this scalebound? So that's on their mind. We still remember. But Microsoft, and thankfully this is a rumor, this wasn't any kind of official thing. Microsoft definitely learned from scalebound. Now to announce anything too early, that's not going to be out for a while.
Well, they still announce way too many games way too early, man. Because
but not to the level of this, right? So remember, this is just a rumor, nothing official from anyone yet. It's highly likely true, I believe, because of the people who are saying this. Multiple people, who've been right in the past in the Xbox community and just in gaming in general. So I believe that. But to automatically think it's scalebound, I wouldn't say that. But it's definitely something in the memory. We haven't forgot about scalebound. If you're using it for console warring, or if you're an Xbox fan who was sad to see this game, be canceled.
I'm sad.
But as we spoke about on GRG yesterday, I mean, dragons, we need a game like that where you're riding dragons, fighting. there's Panzer Dragoon, there's Crimson Dragon and Crimson Desert. That's about it. We want to see more games involving dragons. Ride them, control them, fight them, whatever. Or all three in one game. I'd love to see that. And this is supposed to be a Diablo type of game. So I don't really know how they're really going to do the whole dragon flying thing and whatnot. I want to see those aspects in the game. So we'll soon see. But I doubt it's scale bound. I don't think they will ever take back that idea to give it to somebody else to try to redo instead.
Scalebound is coming back. You heard it. New legal. Scalebound's coming back.
I don't co-sign that. I think they should leave that alone because even if they did,
you heard it here first.
Doesn't come
you heard it here first.
100%. People are like, once again, the same suspect clowns are going to be the first ones out there to say, here's a flaw. Here's a flaw. Everywhere's a flaw. Like, nah. Leave the game alone if you're not going to do it right. But, I mean, that's still not going to prevent these people from even a different game from sitting there complaining about it anyway. So I guess you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No, I don't think Xbox will ever get the credit from anybody else just because it's Microsoft.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I never understood that. I never understood, because it's Microsoft, we hate Xbox. And it's like, why? It just sounds ridiculous to me. I don't know.
Hey, man.
I never understood that.
The more haters you get, that's how you know you're doing well. Because where I come from, like, the more haters you have, that's how you know. Because your name is on everyone's lips. Yeah. What you're doing is on everyone's lips. If you notice, even when there's positive PlayStation news, you'll see these guys on Twitter, what they talking about? Xbox. Somehow they have to bring Xbox into something that's positive for PlayStation. Yeah. They still got to do it. It's in the mind, rent-free, for real. In the minds, rent-free all day. And these are the same clowns who are losing followers and stuff too. So apparently the writing's on the wall. Even in, a lot of this press we were talking about before, now they're turncoat. Now all of a sudden they want to say positive things about Xbox. The same stuff people have been saying for years, and they used to have a bunch of articles saying all the things we believe were wrong. Just goes to show.
So in the meantime, now that Scalebound is getting made, and we all can feel happy about it, Scalebound is in the future. It's coming. You heard it here first. But Microsoft has been doing some incredible things under the radar. And one of them is just how well their gaming division, once again, is doing. Xbox has doubled now in revenue. Double, people. It was 1.5 billion year to year until now. All of a sudden now, in 2021, they've accumulated 3.5 billion.
Wow.
Sick, all at me, man.
Said techno, or you say sick? I didn't hear. You must have said me, but wow. So Microsoft, last time one of these reports came out, they made like 1% in profits, but that's because they were investing in these consoles and stuff about to come out. Now we see the real numbers, right? Now, once again, they don't mention console numbers because that doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter. And we'll talk about the competition later, but we're talking about Xbox, and I stay consistent. I'm not going to be the hypocrite to now start talking about the competition when we're talking about Xbox. But you're talking about Xbox, they don't mention on the console sales because that doesn't matter. It's about the revenue, the profit. This is something I said last night. When you look at the revenue and the profits that they made, they spent money to make money. They made a lot of money back from their investments. And you know why? It's because the gamers bought the software. They bought the hardware, clearly. They bought the software. They paid for the services. Game Pass, as we know, is over 23 million. It might already be at 25. It might already be at 25 since we last spoke about it, or about to be right there. Oh, yeah. Right? And that's what matters most. That's where all these profits are coming from. Massive profits. Now, we'll talk about the later one, but I just want to say that first before I sound like a hypocrite, because I was just saying. But I do want to bring up, not the same situation with Sony. Microsoft made, I think, 15 or 17, billion. I forget exactly the number. But meanwhile, Sony,
here we go. This?
$3 billion. Are you kidding me? They're
all right.
money on every system sold. And why is that? Same reason. The same thing that happened with baseball. They're not buying the software that they claim to, so there's no profit. It's the console industry. It was razors and razor blades. They sell the system at a loss, and they make up the money on the software. But they see that's not working for them as much as it should. How you have a platform 120 million sold can't sell that many games? I've spoken on this before, and here's another example of that. It's in their numbers. You can't deny. And they have to buy back their stock and invest.
Oh, you took the sting out of it. You took the sting out of it. But we're going to talk about that too. Go ahead, get your point out.
You know, $100 and something million to invest in games. That's barely the advertising budget of one AAA. You kidding me? Okay, so
it's hilarious.
Or you, as Shuhei Yoshida, you giving these games to, and it's the money. What this money is for? Because 100 and something million for some indie games, even then that's not a lot because you still got advertise and promote. It's the advertising money, that's the bigger spend, not the development money. You know, it's unfortunate, but it is the truth. These people talk the talk, but don't walk the walk with their wallets, spending money on the games that they claim are so great. And you see it in the numbers. The numbers don't lie. And when the numbers lie, everybody's already gonna be like, wait, what? It's like the whole MPD thing. Legal and I know we've been discussing this a couple days now. It was about a week ago, and it's ironic now. I go looking all over the internet, I can't find, but I've asked multiple people, so I know I'm not tripping. And those of you in the chat, I want to see at least 3 people. Am I bugging, or did you not see on about last week? There was all these news about the MPDs and the PlayStation had sold like 13 million consoles, at least in America, because the MPDs only count America. And I don't mean online or whatever. I'm talking about retail, right? Right?
Yeah.
Now then, real numbers are out from Sony. Worldwide, it's not even 8. So the MPDs that you love to claim to talk about and say are so relevant, you see Microsoft drop them like a hot rock and they don't show numbers? Same thing here. No need to show these numbers because those numbers aren't accurate. So all these people who are sitting here and saying, you know, the MPD showed that this system is selling, this one isn't, apparently not.
Say it loud for the people in the back.
Let me cut you off here for a second. I'm going to get my kids something to eat real quick, so I'm going to step away for a while. You guys take over and do your thing.
All right, Ted. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sid.
Yeah, so what I was saying, the MPDs are not something to look at. Even Microsoft dropped reporting console sales because it doesn't matter. That's not the metric. If that was the metric that really mattered, PlayStation would have made a lot more than $3 billion in profit. Because Microsoft made like 15 or 17 or something ridiculous like that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Right.
The numbers don't add up. I'm not an MBNA or whatever they call that. I don't know, finances, and I don't know the law. I'm a technical guy. That's my area. But I don't have to be that knowledgeable of the situation to see that something don't add up. The numbers don't add up. Or at least the numbers we hear from MPDs and all these people online who like to talk with no facts behind them. None of those numbers add up. They're not really making no profit out there.
Yeah, they're not. It's not real.
Playing, Lewis.
Let me send Tech a message and tell him to keep tell his son to be quiet.
He should mute himself. That would be better. He should have did that, but I guess he didn't realize.
I'm just messing with him.
That's our boy, though.
Yup. That's Tech being super dad. Hey,
if fatherhood comes up at any time, you can't really.
It's a full-time job. Yo,
till the grade.
I'm glad you said that, right? Because that's true stuff, man. And on top of that, this stuff about the money, right? $3.5 billion quarterly, doubled what they make year to year on a regular basis. Okay, I I want now Sick. They're not registering, Sick. So I gotta make this. I gotta hit them hard with this. Notice what I just said, y'all. On a normal year to year, it's 1.5. This is the first fiscal quarter, and they've already doubled what they make year to year. Sick, I'm going to say that one more time, all right? I'm going to say that one more time, Sick, because I really don't think they hear me. No, and I'm going to try to make this as preschool as I could possibly make it. Normally, at the end of the year, like after Christmas, 6 days after Christmas, Microsoft with Xbox makes about $1.5 billion. We just started the beginning of this year. January, February, March, right? You have 4 fiscal years in a year. 4 or 3, depending on how the companies want to do their report card. But no more than that. They got to go about 3s or 4s. So they can either show 3 reports, 4 months, or 4 reports out of 3 months. In this case, Microsoft does what? 4 out of 3? They do 3s, right? I believe they do 3s. I could be wrong on that. But this is going back from January, February, March, because we're in April. So I guess they do 3s. In 3 months, Sick, in 3 months, they have doubled what they make in a year. To everybody in the world who hates on Xbox, it's just not going to be a good look for you to continue to hate on Xbox. The new legal, is trying his hardest to tell y'all, just come on over and spare the embarrassment. Just come on over. It's okay. The beginning of healing is accepting what's happening. You can't bother us anymore talking about what games we have. Just wait. We only got this year. We're not saying we have just wait 2 more years. Xbox is going to give us something. I'm telling you, this year. And you don't want to see the E3. You don't really want to see that. You don't really want to see our new games that are coming out. You don't. But we get it. And we're going to let you play it off like you're going to play Returnal, the 10-hour game that's killing you over and over again. We're going to act like y'all are out there enjoying it. We're going to play along right with y'all until that Sony PlayStation ship starts. It already has holes. Y'all remind me of Sea of Thieves. When you hit those rocks and then you go down to your ship, you start nailing the plank, you stupid sick. They start trying to cover up them holes. Stop letting that ship from sinking. Mm-hmm. We get that. And y'all can think that, Legal's just being a fanboy. You can think whatever you want. It's not going to stop what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. What I'm about to say, it'll trigger you, make you mad. Oh, he's a hater, and he's this, and he's that. My man Freddie Fox just joined in. This situation that is happening with Xbox is unprecedented. Xbox in its entire history has never made this much money before. Never. It never. And remember what I told you, and everybody else said, that Game Pass will hit 40 million this year. Mm-hmm. I'm looking pretty good, Sick.
You're looking pretty good. I always did say, even though I wasn't sure it would happen, there was the window of possibility because of the way things are moving. And here's more proof to what you were saying, because if you look at it, there's hardly any software out. They're this successful with not much to show for it. What's going to happen when the real software comes? When the Halo, the Starfield, the Forzas. Okay, remind me to say Forzas. There's Motorsport and Horizon. We had a debate on GRG last night as to which one was coming. Both are on the way. That's already. Then there's what's that one? Not the Elder Scrolls game, but it's just like Asheron or something like that. It starts with an A, and it's just like Skyrim looking like. Not Elden Ring, or is it Elden Ring?
Yeah,
Elden Ring. Okay,
yeah.
That's not the next Skyrim game. That's coming after Starfield. That's some other Avowed. That's what it was.
Avowed. Okay, Avowed. Yeah, that's for real.
That's another big one.
That's a brand new game.
The Ascent.
Yes.
The real version of Cyberpunk with the features. We don't even have that yet. Okay? They're making this much money off of essentially nothing. But really not nothing. It's the biggest nothing. It's Game Pass. It's logic. Sony has to do the same thing. I keep saying they have the back catalog to put that in with nothing new and have a very successful Game Pass of their own. But they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They don't respect it. They don't respect it.
Sick. It won't. Sick. This already happened. Sick. It's already happened. It don't work.
PS Now.
That's what. Sick.
That's what happens when you
go back. Sick. Let's go back.
That's what happens.
They did something nobody's done. See, Sick, you got too passionate. Sick's my boy, but I don't want him to lose it because I'm gonna bring you back to reality. Sick, you my boy.
Let me hear it.
They had it better than anybody in gaming history.
Oh, and the PS.
Theirs was free.
Yep.
Never worked because they don't play them games.
Nope.
When it was free, they wasn't playing those games. We were in these streets for real. I had PlayStation friends.
Yep.
They weren't playing those games. The thing with them is when they get one of those games and they beat it, it goes bye-bye.
Yep. Right back to Redbox or GameStop or wherever they
goes bye-bye. PlayStation built taking the games home for rent. They built that community. Xbox community didn't build that. I remember those mom and pop stores where they had the rental games.
Yep.
PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2s, and PlayStation 3s. It died in the middle part of PlayStation 3s.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 3 let them down. That's why it started to die off.
Yep.
I know because I was there.
Yep.
Plus, the birth of Netflix was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Things were changing. And those mom and pop stores along with Blockbuster and all of them, look how Netflix just took over. And look what it did. It influenced so hard, Disney had to come aboard. Disney, we're talking
and that's
Disney.
what I'm talking about. Disney has new content, but they have a lot of old stuff that they could leverage alone, even without the new stuff that gives value to their service.
But it
so
doesn't
they can do the same thing, but they won't do it because they're lazy.
Because it's not the same infrastructure.
Nope.
Look,
they didn't invest
Sony has to make
time, money or anything.
Right. Sony has to make money off of hardware. Some kind of way they got to put it in there. This is why PlayStation Plus is out. You're right. And you look how it does. It was $14.99. They dropped it down to $9.99. But look, look at the genius of Microsoft, right? Microsoft put out regular Game Pass first and gave everybody $1 to switch over from live from that. So you already saw the plan of exiting live and bringing about a Game Pass, right? Yep. But then it got better. Microsoft was like, yo, not only are we seeing the numbers, we're seeing how many people just join this thing. Look, let's do rock, paper, scissors, and let's see if within the next month we can retain these same numbers. Now, do you remember when the first reports came out, like maybe 2 months after Game Pass came out, that they already had sold over 1 million subscribers? It was going on to 2 million. And they basically said this: we're on a pace right now. For every month, there's 1 million subscribers. For every month that's going, we're going to average 1 million. Microsoft saw that in the fall. Well, sure enough, the next report, it kind of slowed down, of course, after Christmas, but that's normal. By Christmas, they were up by about 4 million. Then it kind of slowed down a little bit. Couple months went by, picked up, we got the 5 million news. We was like, look at this. So that's when everybody kept saying, yo, it's going to be 10 million before you know it. And before we knew it, it was 10 million. Then it went 10 million. And you want to know what the driving forces were? This is what's funny. The driving force of Game Pass growing were the games that said they weren't going to make it. Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 was pushing Game Pass.
And they said that from day one. They said that from day one.
Right. Because it started with Record. Okay? People got into Record, the definitive edition. But when Sea of Thieves and State of Decay dropped on Game Pass, it blew up. It blew up. And they were the two games, along with Forza Horizon 3, that just kept pushing. And the problem was, there was community in those games. We don't even want to talk about Minecraft, because that's automatic buckets. I don't want to talk about Minecraft. That's automatic buckets. That's cheating. Okay? So, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to hit below the belt. We don't want to hit below the belt. We want to hit number bodies and faces and jaws and body blows, right? We want those time behind your back and over right hands. Left hook swings. All right? Sidestep them to the kidney. You know? But those games, what's funny is those games are still driving Game Pass. Well, State of Decay 2 probably slowed down, but when State of Decay 2 slowed down at, Forza Horizon 4 picked up. And Sea of Thieves has been going steady. It hasn't slowed down. Now we go from 10 million to 15 million, and State of Decay's numbers are right there. Then we finally started to break away a little bit. And you want to know why I started breaking away from from Sea of Thieves? It's because Microsoft started putting those beautiful games on Game Pass. We had more varieties. We got Yakuzas. We got all kinds of stuff up on there now. EA Play. So the numbers started to stretch a little bit. Now we're at 23 million.
Oh, time out. You skipped one aspect, because this was the thing that got me to transfer over. Because Game Pass was cool, and I like to buy my games, I say, right? And a lot of the games that were offered on Game Pass were games I were buying anyway, like the first parties I want. You know, you see that Halo helmet right there, you know, for Halo 3 days, you know, still right there, you know. So I bought the disc versions of Halo, even though I didn't need it. I bought the Master Chief Collection and bought the disc way later just to have it. But the thing was, when they introduced Game Pass to Xbox Live subscription, Game Pass Ultimate. I'm also a PC guy, so that was there too. And they also added xCloud. That was brain dead simple, because you're already paying for your live. If you're paying for Game Pass, right, you're paying for live, so you put them both together. It's two things you got to get anyway. It's like peanut butter and jelly. You know, they go together. And that was the thing I think really was the trigger to really make it blow up, when you got so many things and it covered your live, your internet access of the network, right? Even though we know that is going away anyway. That was the whole point of them doubling the price, to get you to get off of that to switch into Game Pass.
Sick. Talk our language, fam. Talk our language.
Everybody knew it. Even the games press, who's usually quite crap, even they had called it out since way back, and especially the day they announced it, when everybody knew this what they were doing. Well, they just do it, and they were able to
there wasn't no surprise with that. Exactly.
Right. So it just goes to show, Game Pass Ultimate, that was the thing that got me to switch over, right? That was the point where you can't deny it anymore. Even if, like, for example,
real quick, keep your thought. Because Game Pass Ultimate, with the first party games, you don't pay for DLCs. Go ahead.
Right. So Noof Nukem in the community, he likes to buy his games, and thus he doesn't do Game Pass even yet and still. Okay, fine. But I guarantee you he has Game Pass anyway. You know why? 20% off on the games you buy. Even if you don't run with that Game Pass ideology because it doesn't work for you, even then you still have to subscribe unless you're a moron, because you're saving 20% on the games you buy.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Knockout performance. Keep your thought. Jot it down. I have to intercept real quick. Exactly. So go back to the chat. Chat's making some good points. Sick, you're on fire. Watch this. Okay. It was so much. I was almost forgetting.
Sorry.
The Game Pass situation, 20% off. I'm gonna touch on that. Sick is saying 20% off. The common sense consumer would take that. Now, what's 20%? That's paying for tax and it's giving you another 10% off. So it's taking care of your tax plus another 10% off. Because when it's 10%, that's just covering your tax. That's all 10% does. It takes care of the tax. So what Game Pass is doing is saying, listen, you don't pay tax and we're giving you another 10%
on your games.
So I'm giving y'all commercialized buying 101. Anytime you hear a store or any type of buyout and they say 20% off, that's tax and another 10% off. That's what that really means.
Yeah.
Really don't get you really don't get a 100% type of sale like that until it hits like 30%. If it's 30%, then you know all together you're just getting the fly off the top. You're getting it. But 20% is like saying, hey, you're not going to pay for the tax, and then we give you 10%. Now, on top of that, keep your thoughts. That 30 million is the mark. And I'm feeling everybody in the chat room. Freddie Fox, I'm feeling you. Freddie Fox made a prediction. At 30 million, it's over. And you want to know something? I that. At 30 million, SIKSLAYER, it's over.
You can't ignore that.
There will be no stopping Game Pass at that point.
Right.
30 million is the sweet spot.
Yes.
Because you already see that Xbox Live as a community has went over 100 million subscribers. Over 100 million subscribers. Game Pass is on its way to 25 million now. I give you by this summer. I give you by E3. Watch E3. 25 million more.
No, it might already be right now, in fact.
That's what I'm saying. Because when we get the news, we're literally behind. I keep telling people that. We could be almost hitting that 25 million now. By E3, just wait on that news.
Easily. That will be over then.
It wouldn't shock me by E3 they say 30 million. It would not shock me.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're going to hit that 30 million when they see those games. Continue. Continue, my friend.
What I was saying, and I got to shout out Dr. Vaga, who's saying they didn't double price, they removed the discount. Tomato, but still, same thing, you're still right. It's just the opposite of what I'm saying, but still the same thing, you're still right. But what I was saying, and not to shame Noof Nukem, I'm not putting shade on what he said. He's still cool. If he wants to buy his games, yet and still, I guarantee you he has Game Pass anyway just because of the discount. It's the logic of it. You have to be a moron not to be on Game Pass because of what it offers you. It's so much, it's essentially free. And you don't even really have to pay for Game Pass if you're paying attention when you're looking at those Microsoft rewards. It's free. It's free.
Speak that language, baby. Speak the language.
Another little thing. A lot of parents, they come to me, my family, people I know, men and women, ask me, they want to get themselves a console for their kid or whatever for the holidays. Whoa, I kind of scratched my head and knocked out my headset. And I would say to them, hey, Xbox with the Game Pass Ultimate. If they want the PlayStation, that's cool. But here's what Xbox is offering as well, so you can make the decision. And they all went to Xbox because of the Game Pass thing. Now, they have Xbox All Access where you pay, you get the Xbox and the Game Pass and all of that. And it's a great deal too. So that's another way to go. But it's simple financial sense to have Game Pass, particularly Game Pass Ultimate. You just have to be a moron. And in fact, here's the other thing I say to some people. They give away codes for Discord, Grubhub, Disney Plus, this service, that service, right? If they added just one more service a month, even if you don't play games, it's starting to be worth subscribing to, even if you're not a gamer at all, because they give you so much free. If you use the Microsoft rewards and you just on Bing and you get your points that way, and you're paying for your Game Pass, it gives you, a code for 6 months of Spotify, 3 months of Grubhub, 6 months of Discord, what's that thing, Prime, or whatever they call it, all types of benefits.
Oh, you mean the perks?
The perks.
Yeah.
The 20% off your game, the free DLC codes they give you for Phantasy Star Online and other games where you get all types of items. There's so many ways to skin this cat. Game Pass is a no-brainer. It's if you're a parent with kids, you get them an S with that Game Pass Ultimate and have at it. They will never come to the parent and ask them for another game. They might ask them for money for a hard drive or something because there's so many games, okay? And it might hurt your if your ISP has a data cap, you're gonna have to up your tier, right?
They're gonna have to up their game then. Shoot.
They're gonna have to up their game. But when you look at all the money you're saving, you can't complain about that. You're recouping that money anyway, so eventually you gotta spend some of that money somehow, some way. But they got you covered in so many angles.
It's not like it's locked down to like the current generation of games.
Nope.
It's from the original one.
Yeah. And you don't even have to have an Xbox or a PC because of that whole xCloud. It's on your phone. It's on your browser. It's going to be on TVs. If you just rock Xbox or if you just rock PC or if you don't rock either one, there's so many reasons to get Game Pass. It's hard to think of a reason not to. And if they just add a few more free codes for services, even if you're not a gamer, it's starting to be like maybe you might.
I have a reason for not to. I have a good reason.
What's that?
Because it's Xbox. Because it's Xbox. Because I don't like Xbox.
I think you said good reason. I think you said a good.
No, bad reason.
But yeah, it's just ridiculous when you look at it. It's like the new Dope Man got me hooked on Spotify. It's true because like I say, I'm Haitian and a lot of Haitian music is on Spotify, and I didn't know that until I started rocking with R.I.P. to Olivia Dukakis. She just died. That's a shame. Anyway, that just popped up. I'm like, wow, that's a shame. But anyway, yeah, hooked on Spotify now. Now I'm paying for Spotify, right? Because of that, because there's there's lots of music of my culture that I can't find anywhere else on the internet. It's there. So this is like, no matter how you look at it, it's just like if you're not on Game Pass and you have an Xbox, you need to wake up. Even if you want to buy your own game, still worth it because they're giving you a discount. It covers your tax plus at least 10% off the game.
Oh yeah.
All facts, no shade.
Jack, you got anything to say since you've been away?
Nah, just trying to catch up what you guys are saying. I had to step away to get my kid because I'm running solo right now with my little one. So he was like, "Oh, Daddy, I'm hungry." I'm like, "Dude, you eat all the time." So,
man, we're gonna get into this bag situation. If you got anything to say, just flow on in, man. It's the great dad moment, man.
That's why I mute myself, man, because vodka here. I hear everything. I know, you guys. I keep hitting my mic button. See, I do it, you know.
It's all good, man. Look, we got to get to the bag situation. We're going to the bag. All right? Listen, man. I'm in a good mood today. And,
see, man, even Slayer's not shy about eating on the camera, man. Woo!
Facts, he ain't shy. Xbox is doing massive things. They doubled up their bag. So we're gonna talk about this bag. We're gonna break this thing down. Since you don't see a lot of the media trying to break it down, because it looks silly right now. So let's just break this down. Sony had to buy back $1 billion of their profits. $1.8 billion of revenue, basically. All right? For their shares. Okay? That's like saying, I got my bag. Okay? And Tech and SIK, I owe money to, right? But they've given me things where I can sell things to make money so that I don't have to come out of my pocket to get their money back to them, right? I wasn't able to sell all these things that they gave me so that I can give them some money back, right? And whatever I make over, they tell me, hey, keep to yourself. But you owed us this, so legal, as long as you pay us back, whatever else you have, keep for yourself, right? I'm trying to get them a scenario, y'all. This is how hilarious this stuff is. But they're always talking about Microsoft, right? But you remember when we used to say, I got my slogan on it. Big bank takes little bank. But I guess they just didn't realize, they don't really understand that. I mean, that's about as preschool as it can get. A little bank can never take a big bank. Never. I didn't want to give them no hope, but I guess we still got to explain this. But now, we don't even have to explain this anymore. Because what literally happened is this. Not only did Sony say pay their people back, which was them, that's the comedy side of it, they paid themselves back by reaching in their pockets and using their own money to put in their bank. Tell me how you can't make a bigger L than that. And this ain't no chump change. This was $1.8 billion of nothing. I don't know I don't know if y'all can even get this in y'all's heads. That's $1.8 billion gone. I took that out of my pocket, out of my wallet, out of my bag. There's nothing to replace it because there was nothing there for me to sell. Sick, am I making sense to you, bro?
Yeah.
Sick. They don't realize the impact that just happened. That's $1.8 billion they got to get back. They got to get that back because that's gone. They didn't make nothing up with that.
That's a lot of dough.
That's a lot of money.
Or essentially flush to get back their own value back, basically. Because the money they made, now they're spending it on getting their own value back.
Facts. Okay, now, this is where it gets good. Legal ain't hold no punches. I'm coming in, y'all. Not hold no punches. We gonna jab them. Fam. What did we just say? That's right, fam. What did we just say? Year to year, Microsoft in a whole year makes $1.5 million. We're going to hit them with facts tonight. Sick or Tech, go online and give me what did Sony make with PlayStation total in 2019? I don't know if they put up the 2020, but if they did, give me 2020 or give me 2019. Either one of those years would be great. Tell me what that number was.
2019 Sony PlayStation profits. Profits plummeted 36% as gaming earnings slide fiscal year 19. This was from May 15th last year. They lost money.
What was their total for the year? What did they make? Anybody? Somebody in the chat.
5.355 billion, down 36% year over year at that point.
What was it? Say that again.
5.355 billion
is what they made in a year.
Yeah, which is down 36% from the last year.
Okay.
And this was in 2019.
Here,
so it was down
does this help on the screen? I put some stuff on the screen.
It's too small.
It's too small. See if I can make it bigger.
Hold on. Let me click my.
This is the article that I found.
Go back to it. Go back to your screen, Tech. I was on the small screen.
Oh, this is The Verge. Okay.
I'm gonna have to look this one up. Y'all be patient. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Hold on. Let me see something here.
You asked me what they had lost last year in 2019.
No, I want to know what they made.
And that's how much they made. 5.355 billion. But that was down from the year before. So last year they lost money. Well, they didn't lose money. They made profit, but it wasn't as much as the year before.
Right. Okay, here it is. Here's what I wanted people to understand. Thank you for that, Sick. But here, I didn't want that one. This is what I wanted. Push square. So you can't run or hide from this. This is push square. All right. Number one gatekeeper, the Hulk gatekeeper for Sony. Push square. PSN. Oh, that's PSN. Never mind. I said PSN. You might be right. Let me see.
Sony Q4 2019.
Okay, here it was.
They yearly profits down 86%. That was last year.
I need a number.
Last year.
All we know, it's a lot of money.
Last year, their revenue was $16 billion.
There you go.
Year.
That's what I'm looking for. $16 billion last year.
That's
okay.
Down.
So
from the year before that.
If it's $16 billion, we can easily break that down in fours. So let's say that PlayStation made $4 billion every quarter, 4 times a year, right? Okay, just gonna get it like that. Microsoft, this is what I'm trying to tell people. And you said Sony was going backwards. They're going down. Okay.
Yeah.
While Sony is going down, this is facts. This is what I'm getting to. While Sony is going down, Xbox is going up. There's a change happening, people. So don't listen to people who still trying to hold on to VHS memories. Sony once again is going down, and they don't want to accept that. That's the problem. While Xbox is going up now. Now, $3.5 billion is what Xbox made. Sony took $1.8 billion out of their pocket. Back. Put it in for the shares. That's $1.8 billion gone. It's gone. Sick. That's gone. They didn't just make up that money. That's money that had to come out of that. On top of your money going down. So if you made $16 billion last year, right? Subtract 1.8 out of that. Gone. Look at Microsoft. Microsoft made what? 12 billion at one time? Yeah, they made about 12 billion. Now look at them. This is what they don't want you to know. Microsoft just made another 3.5 billion. Where does that put them at? Look, think about it. Sick. That puts them right next to each other. Xbox this year is going for the takeover. That's where I wanted this show to finally reveal itself on.
Yep.
Sick, thank you. Because now they can't say nothing. They run from this channel. Run.
But here's the thing, though. Like I said before, don't forget, they're not even making this money off of really that much. Because most of the bangers, actually, none of the bangers have been out yet. Nothing. They're saying Xbox has no games, but we're taking your game and we're taking all the money, and that's before we even release anything. So what's going to happen when they actually release games?
Sick. They're making money with no games. Xbox has no games, and they're doubled up. They done doubled up off of no games. So what do you think is going to happen? Right. They might be that ain't even a couple billion. They might be $1 billion off. I'll give them that. They might be just $1 billion off from Sony. But now it's neck to neck. This is what these analysts and stuff don't want to talk to you about. Because once Microsoft starts dropping them bombs, it's completely over. They're not going to be able to hang with them. You're looking at reports like Microsoft making $15 billion for the year. That's unheard of because Microsoft was always under $10 billion. Remember when they finally hit over $10 billion for the first time? What was that, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
They said we finally hit over $10 billion. They finally hit over $10 billion. Then the next year we went up. We went up to like 12 billion. It was like 11.7 when they finished it on the next year after that.
Yeah, they just keep growing and growing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Now we got reports that they done made 3.5 billion already. At that rate, add 3.5 billion. See, we just did Sony 4 billion every fiscal month. So let's just do 3.5. They're a $500 million behind at the end of the year for what Sony's been doing. So you tell me, this is neck to neck now. Next year, you don't have nothing for me for PlayStation. As the years go by, like I've been telling y'all, since 2017, I've been telling y'all, I give Sony another 5-year run. And if they don't make it, then F them. Let them die near done. Because we got killers out in Westport, down to Philly, back to Baltimore, to West Joint. I'm spending that DMX now, baby. And F the police, because they ain't even the ones that even catch you. It be them ATF punks that have you under pressure. But let you just know that I'll never hold my Glock down. Because I'm a hustling mother, and I'm holding the block down. Woo! That damn Arkansas is holding that block down. And y'all in trouble. That big bank, the small bank can't do nothing. Your little local bank is not a national bank. The little local bank down the street.
It's like what I said last night.
It's not city. What do you call it? The little local bank over there is not Chase.
But it's just like I was saying last night. Yo, one side has nuclear weapons and the other side has pitchforks and rocks, spears and rocks. If this was a war over money, listen, you wouldn't even use something like that. You're not even going to use the nukes on them because this is like nothing. You don't need nukes to.
You don't even need them.
Right. So you let them live because they just don't. They're like gnats. It's just like you're killing them as like genocide. So you just let them be.
Facts. It's like getting into the ring, right? We're grown men. It's like getting into a boxing ring and a 3-year-old kid is joining you. You're gonna let him hit you.
You're gonna let him hit you and play around until he gets tired and he goes away.
Fact.
But the thing about it is, if it's that much money now, off of really nothing, too much, what's gonna happen when the hitters come? Yeah, even when they hitters come out and they make them some money too. Big bank, little bank.
Right.
Two different things.
Right. It's two different things. And look, tank. But watch this.
Yeah.
And sick. Here's the sad part about it. The games that drop, they're going to Game Pass.
Yeah.
They're going in there. They're going in Game Pass.
Day one.
Day one.
Yeah. It's what I was saying about Microsoft doesn't even need exclusives anymore because they have Game Pass. Because, okay, forget the baseball situation. That's just like, wow. But let's just talk about any new hot game that a third party can make, right? Let's say Battlefield. If Battlefield comes to Game Pass, you know that game is multi-plat on everything. It's going to stay multi-plat. Microsoft can't pay them enough to want to just keep it Xbox exclusive, and that doesn't make sense anyway, right?
It doesn't.
They don't have to because of Game Pass. Game Pass is better than an exclusive because it makes the other side seem stupid for even having it. Because you have it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, let's say this because the Game Pass
instead of just locking it away from them.
Alone with say Battlefield dropped in this year. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right, and we just got Outriders, which is a third party, came in day one.
Mm-hmm.
And say Battlefield dropped in as well later this year. Those two games alone just covered your year of Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's it. And then you get all the bonuses of every other game that's already in there.
Of every other game that's in there, Tech.
And then for all you want to be smart guys, what's going to happen when they up the price? They still up the price.
Check this. Check this. Say if Returnal and Ratchet and Clank, you buy those two games, that already paid off your
facts.
Your Game Pass.
And that's if you spent money instead of using the reward points to get it in the first place.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yep.
It's essentially free. If you play enough games, which isn't even that many, you get it for free.
I'm going to say this. If you're a gamer and you got your Microsoft reward points, you game on Xbox, you're not paying for that stuff.
Yeah, you get so many
That's the bottom line.
You get so many points all the time just for playing.
Right now, let me tell you right now. Right now, I have enough points for 15 months worth of Game Pass. And I haven't even cashed them in yet. And I'm good right now. I'm currently good up to like 22, something around 22.
Right. The same with me. I need to get me another one. I need to go. Oh, check this out. While we're talking about Game Pass, go to your local Best Buy. Or if you're out of town, go to that Best Buy. Go in there and get you an Ultimate Game Pass for 3 months. Best Buy gives you an additional 3 months. So for buying 3 months, you get an additional 3 months, which equals
How long have they been
6
doing
months.
This?
Been doing it since they dropped them in there. It's a Best Buy thing. Go to Best Buy. Facts.
Nobody's ever talked about this. And I stay up to date on a lot of things. I did not know that.
Well,
there's something new every day.
Well, that's why
Amazon does it all. Wow.
Well, that's why we have channels like this, Sick, to inform our community.
Man, see,
I
did not know. I'm just like, hey, wow, I got to get on that.
Yeah.
See, now there's a point where I'm gonna go out and spend my money to get some Game Pass, even though I got the rewards points and I get them.
Yeah, because you get 3 months for free.
My money, it's just it's essentially free. And Game Pass saves you like I keep saying, it saves you so much. It's brain dead simple. No matter how you
and I don't, like you said, it's brain dead simple. I still don't understand how some people don't see value in that.
They do, but they're jealous.
Yeah, Tech. And that's what it is, man.
They do, but they're jealous.
And it's what Six said. It makes you look stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not realistic. Look, put it. You know what? It goes back to that saying I said. If it didn't look or sound stupid then it doesn't look or sound stupid now. But if it looks stupid then, it looks stupid now.
Yeah,
that's just
it's crazy.
Telling us, oh, go to the arcade down there at Parks Mall, round 1, right?
You know what?
And they tell you, Tech, hey, so you come in there and say, hey, $10, man. I want to play for 2 hours straight. Any, and they say, oh, Tech, keep it $10, man. We like you, so you're gonna play all these games for free all day. Tech, are you gonna pay to play them games, Tech? Or are you gonna just go and do what you gotta do and play those games for free?
Well, I like to spend my money, so I'm not really smart with my money, so I'll just spend the $10.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna go up in that arcade, you're gonna spend that $10 regardless.
Yeah.
And you're gonna play 5 games with that $10. You're gonna walk back home feeling like you was a champion because you spent $10 in the arcade.
Yeah.
Well, you could have put that $10 in your pocket, saved your $10, and played all those games in arcades for free. But that don't make sense.
That don't make sense at all. I like to spend money.
Fact.
It makes me a baller, and it makes everybody else who won't spend their $10 cheap.
Right. Yeah. You're looking around, you're looking at all these idiots, right, playing these games for free, and you're seeing how much fun they have, and you're sitting there like, why are they having so much fun? And you're like, why are they laughing and talking and having so much fun? And I'm over here spending my money in these arcades, and why are they? And I'm not laughing and joking. And it's like, dude, because we're over here playing these games for free. We're getting experiences, even if I don't like the game. Guess what? It doesn't harm me because it didn't cost me anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's the point. And that's what I was saying about day one with Game Pass. They always said this from day one. You are going to play games outside of your wheelhouse and find new classics, new games you love, new styles of games you love.
It's so true.
Because you never would have spent the money on those games any other type of way. So, and it's like a recurring thing because you find more games you like, so you play them on Game Pass and you're playing more games.
It's true.
You're playing more games on Game Pass, so you keep getting Game Pass.
Yeah.
You keep finding more games. It's a cycle, and it doesn't end. And the thing about it is, none of it is a secret. Nothing they're doing is like a plot. It's not sinister.
No, it's not.
It is what it is. They're making money.
It's not.
Right.
They're getting games at an effective price. The publishers, developers are
the
getting
evil
their money.
empire.
There's a line of publishers and developers. There's a line of them waiting to get their games on Game Pass. They're competing with each other to get their games on Game Pass. That's what you want. It shouldn't be us who's competing, them who's competing.
That's right.
They compete to put their best foot forward onto Game Pass, and then you benefit because even if it's a game that you might not have been interested in, it's got its best coat on, best shoes, clean suit and tie to come present itself to you like, you should play my game. And you're like, all right, I'll give you a shot. Oh, snap. It's one of your new favorites.
Well, I'll tell you this, I'll tell you this in my own experience, and I always bring this up just because I played 4 of them already. I've completed 4 of them. Yakuza. Okay. Right? I've never thought of playing it, and it really never caught my attention at all. I saw the goofiness of the trailers and all that, where they're dancing. They're doing their little dance at the club. But it never caught my attention. And then I found out, hey, it's going to Game Pass. Well, let me try the first one out. You know, in order. I think they said start 0 or something like that, based on the stories. So I did, and I got hooked. And I've completed 4 so far. Wow. Yakuza 1 through 4, and then that 0, whatever it's called.
To completion, where you did all the side things and stuff, like the little side, like, you know, the one where you're running not a brothel, but like a club. Where
I hated that. I hate those things. No, I hate that.
But there's a lot of people who like it because there's all types of mini games.
Yeah, there's a lot of mini games on those Yakuza games. I just can't stand them. Like, this adds nothing to the story. It's like I got to keep moving. So I finished the story. I'm more interested in the story because the story is really good.
Their stories are
ridiculously good. And all of them, they all relate to each other because they reference back to the previous Yakuza. Like, oh, you know, remember when this happened? Like, holy crap! They went back to Yakuza 3, you know. And
and you know what? You guys are telling the ultimate truth.
Yeah.
Because what y'all are doing is actually fulfilling this fact.
Yeah.
When they did Game Pass, and this goes back to what Sik was saying before text. You're actually, both of you guys are actually the beginning and the end of this, of what I'm about to say. They looked at this, like he said, this is not by chance. They did a study on Game Pass. And what was it? They said,
okay, let me stop.
Out of 100%, they said, we were shocked to know that at least 30%, I might be off a little bit, but what I'm saying is this. They looked at a test and they were like, 30% of the people will get Game Pass because it's cheap. Then they said 50% will play games that they normally wouldn't even have played. They know this because they can look at your account.
Yeah.
They know if you've ever played this game before. And when they saw that 50%, and then they said 20% ends up buying the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100%. So 30% is like Teknoblast. No, Teknoblast falls into the 50%. He's the one that says, hey, I'm playing a new game that I probably wouldn't have never played. That's 50% of the people in Game Pass. So that's the bulk. With that mindset, that's what I want y'all to know. The bulk of the mindset of Game Pass are people going to the Game Pass and then they're playing games they wouldn't have normally played. That's half of the people of Game Pass. The 30%, more than on top of that half, so that's 80%, right, are the ones that say, you know what? Man, I'm gonna download that game and keep that game right there. I'm playing that game, right? Not only am I trying it, but hey, I know this game over here, so I'm getting it because it's on Game Pass, and I didn't beat it, you know, but I played it, and now it's on Game Pass, so now I'm gonna get in and beat it.
Yeah.
You know? So that's now
the save is still there.
Facts. So now that's that 80%. The other 20 is like, I actually like that game, and for the sake of it, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
So Game Pass is making money. That goes back to that 20%.
Yeah. Noof Nukem example. Yeah. He don't really rock with the idea of Game Pass, but he's gonna be on it anyway because of the deal. It's saving money.
Right. And see, like Phil said, they was like, Phil, why is Game Pass so successful? What's your trick? And Phil Spencer said it. I don't have a trick right now.
There is no trick. It's public.
He's like, I go. He said, I'm basically. Excuse me. He says I'm basically making deals off the top. So I'm making a deal with Teknoblast because Teknoblast is Rocksteady. So I'm saying, well, Rocksteady, you know, they got Batmans and all of them, so they're popular. So you know what, Tech, I want all 3 of your Batman games, but check this out. I know. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reach in my big bag, take that money. Say, you mean to tell me you giving me this amount of money? I didn't make this amount of money when I was developing the games. You're giving me this now to put it on Game Pass? Oh.
Right. And then on top of
that, me again.
Every deal is different.
Yeah.
Right. Each deal is different. Now watch this. I go to Sik. Sik is probably this up and coming developer, right? But he's got this game and it's bright infinite memory. but you got this game that's just looking ridiculous. And we can't believe you're the only one making this game. So I come to you and I'm like, oh, you know what? This game is strikingly interesting. How are you doing this? This is ridiculous. It's just you. And you said, yeah, man, my first one was on PC. You know, I moved the crowd just a little bit. We're like, enough. Because money talk, right? It's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's going to be the new slogan. They keep talking about it that says, enough.
Yep.
They reach in the bag. And they say, you know what? I tell you
Shut
what.
up and take my money.
Right. You know what I say to you? I say, you know what? We like your style. We got this new technology over here. And we want you to utilize it because of what you're doing right now, what you got. We can only imagine what you do. Give you these
resources.
Resources, right? So guess what I'm gonna do for you? Because you impressed us. We're gonna give you what you would make if your game sold 10 million. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna look.
Yeah.
Not here. You didn't see me.
And here's the funny thing about it.
And watch this.
They don't require exclusivity or nothing.
None of that. Now watch this. When that game goes on Game Pass, guess how Microsoft is gonna make their money back? Because each deal is different. In that case, we're gonna say, well, all right, we gave them that 10 million off top. So that game ain't never leaving Game Pass.
Right.
It's gonna sit there. And as long as it's in Game Pass, it's gonna generate.
Right.
For every one person, listen, people, there's 100 million subscribers on live. There's 23 million on Game Pass. The numbers say certainty this is gonna happen, Microsoft. The numbers are saying it. So Microsoft is saying, look, we don't have to sweat this. Like we said, Dirt Griggity in the last show, every real business runs for the long haul. Yes. They're going to say we're going to make it sit there, and we're going to make sure we get that 10 million back and some, because it'll never leave Game Pass. And how do they know it's going to happen? Because they looked at the numbers. They're going to say, oh, look, the 50% are going to come in here and say, oh, look, I ain't never played the game. Download. So the minute they download it, starts revenue, because what engagement happens, right? That next 30% is going to say, you know what, damn it? Get this. That game is so good. I'm buying. I'm going to keep it right in my collection. I'm not going to ever uninstall it. I'm holding it. There goes that 80%. So it's just sitting there. So guess what happens when you get a family member or a friend to come over your house? Oh, come here. I got to show you this game. As soon as you open that game up, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Now he wants to play it, and he's going to go home and download it. But watch this. If it really meant something to you, you're that 20%, you're going to say, man, there's no way this game is ever going to leave me. I'm buying this game.
Yeah.
Look how many times Microsoft has flipped that game.
Yep.
And people wonder why Game Pass is so successful.
And then plus, in the example you're giving with my next game, I'm that indie guy that you gave the money to first. My next game, now the deal is different. Now, it's per the amount of users. Right. I continue to get money. You continue to get money. I'm not a nobody anymore. I made my bones with the last one. That's what's gonna happen. Everybody's talking Ubisoft is coming to Game Pass. We all know it's coming. It's only a matter of time.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if Ubisoft comes?
You heard it here first.
It's gonna be a combination of both. There'll be a lump sum at first to get them on, and then as more and more people play the game, the ultra combo. They'll get a bag at first, and as more people play the game, they get recurring revenue off of it.
Do you know how much they would make if they drop Valhalla right now on Game Pass?
Oh, dude.
Right.
Insane.
I mean, without
not lying, because they already made the money. We got all the Assassin's Creed on Game Pass.
With Outriders,
every last one.
With Outriders alone, people went ballistic when they found out it was going to Game Pass.
Yeah. A lot of people were sold on it off the demo, right? Perfect example. Just like what happened with Call of Duty 4 back in the day with that demo that we played all summer before the game came out, them same 3 levels. Still, I think this the best 3 levels in that game at the time, right? Well, there's some other ones debatable, whatever, right? But that was just the demo. It made people play it. They played that demo all summer until the real game came out, right? Same thing happened to Outriders. Keep playing even after the demo was done. Keep playing. Everything you unlocked went into the full game. You kept all those unlocks and the money you earned or whatever it was, right? But the game blew up on Game Pass. And Microsoft paying attention when that demo dropped and it blew up. They said, "Oh, time to give them the Game Pass treatment." I think that was because that was the first AAA game out of nowhere, Game Pass day one. So they get in the bag. They're getting recurring money, right? They got people sticking with a big game. Game Pass looks good. The developer looks good. The game looks good. Gamers are happy. It's a situation where everybody is doing good. Everybody is doing good. Ain't nobody mad except those gamers who are having issues where they're losing their items in game. But that's the fault of the game. But when you didn't pay anything for the game, but your time to play, I'm not saying it's cool, but it makes it hurt a little less. It makes it hurt a little less when you lose a couple of items because there's a bug in the game.
Yeah.
Game Pass just keeps killing.
Dude, if Ubisoft lands in there like EA Play, it's going to be insane.
You play on, I don't see how it's, listen, when EA did it, that's when everything went out the window. Because whatever you think you know about the industry and how it moves, you don't know anymore. Because anything that you thought wasn't ever going to be possible, it's possible, and here's the reason why. It's like what I talk about. It's like what I talk about with that quick resume and how they implemented it in the menu with they're just more pins. That's elegant. The same thing with this. It's elegant because it just makes sense. You look stupid if you don't otherwise. It's that simple.
It's true.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's nice, man. But we'll see what they have in store because every month or so they always throw a little surprise, little nuggets.
Every month there's a big game.
Something.
Every month there's at least one big game. Yeah.
Yo, Tech, show a stream or not stream. Show a trailer of Fall Guys because it's been delayed from Switch and Xbox. Nintendo and Xbox have another crossplay.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
Let's put that up. Put that up. Put that trailer up.
That sounds great, actually, too.
Let them see that.
It's coming. It's playing an ad right now.
No doubt. And also, we want to put out that Ubisoft had a game leak that's coming out on Xbox Series S and X. It's been leaked, but they're trying to cover it up now. We don't have a name, but people know that it is real. It is real.
Waiting to see
Also, the Xbox Series X supposedly done picked up another big game title, and it's supposed to be exclusive.
That's great.
So if all these things are starting to happen this year, we won't have to talk. We won't have to talk much, y'all. It won't be long. Won't be long.
Clearly.
I've never played this, so I don't know what this is about. But apparently it's fun for everybody, right?
Yeah, but look at it. That's that. Do you know that's that one game that Nintendo was talking about? This was big on their. Man, this is big. As a matter of fact.
Well, it was this one and
I saw this game on.
And the one with the suspect. What's that one called?
Yo, this one.
Among Us.
Listen, man. Yeah, Among Us. My daughters want that game, man. Look, but this game here, my oldest daughter was wanting this game. Like I told you, she's more retro style, but she loves her Nintendo. But that's the one where I told her she stopped playing her Switch. But when I tell her this is coming, she's gonna be happy. She already likes the fact that Among Us is coming. So, skill games like this, man, it's Fall Guys is what's going to make mobile gaming. I'm gonna put it like this: the reason why you see this collaboration, this is to promote xCloud and Switch, mobile devices. This is why these games are doing so well. Oh, another thing. Who is going to play the demo of Resident Evil?
Nope.
Why, Tech?
I don't play demos first. I just in general I just don't play them. And second, I'm gonna put that game very bottom of my wish list now because of the whole parody crap that came out.
That makes you mad.
I don't like it. Well, we talked about this before in the past.
Talk about
it. You know, it's one thing we heard about it. There's always been talk and rumors that this always been the case, whether it was from Xbox or if it was PlayStation. There's always been those talks, but there's never been any proof. Then these leaks came out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, looks too real to me. So, and if they are,
I know you're a real one. That's why I know you're a real one, because I thought the same thing. Because as soon as you hear about this, you're like, okay, because that's why I felt like, okay, so that's just a smoking gun, you know, for old murders. This is what they've been doing. This is how they do all the time when they get these exclusives. They pay the bag. They pay for parity. We saw it all last generation, right?
Yeah.
With the One X, they got the more powerful hardware, but there's always some kind of compromise for the PlayStation 1, the performance on weaker hardware. That's literally, particularly when you compare the One X and the PS4 Pro. One is just a faster version of the other because they're generally like the same hardware, right? But one is faster than the other.
Yeah.
And you will still see one outperform the other. And this is the reason why. To me, this was nothing more of a confirmation of something I always knew.
Yeah.
There was no other way. They pay for exclusive. They pay for everything else. And they have for years. Why would, to me, and plus, remember where this info came from. Capcom got hacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sensitive information.
This is true, bro. This is true. Speak on it.
This is where this was supposed to have come from. To me, I'm not even surprised or feel no type of way any different than I already felt, because I already knew this is how they got down. You know, this is just a leak of what we already knew. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what you're saying. This is not. I wasn't surprised in the least.
Yeah.
That's why they always did it.
Yeah, and so I was looking forward to that, and now it's like, okay, you know, if this is really true, if this is a real thing, then Resident Evil is just going down a little further down in the list. And if anything, I'd probably buy it used, just to kind of, you know, kick him in the balls for it.
This is why I really want to talk about it. In fact, it doesn't bother me if you don't want to buy it. Sick, doesn't bother me because you're putting some facts. But I just want.
Well, you know, but let me add this. It's like usually stuff like this would not get to me. I'm like, whatever. I'm still playing the game. It looks great. I'm having fun with it, and that's all that matters, right? I mean, at the end of the day, are you having a good time? Yes.
Yeah.
But now that I saw something in writing, I'm like, that's kind of shady. So it's just for me. I mean, you know, I still feel kind of the way I always have been. Like, I don't really care. But it's just like, now you have something to view. You're seeing something actually, besides just words where people are just throwing them around like, oh, parody this, parody that. Now we're looking at a document, an official contract, and like, oh man, this is real thing now. And I was like, all right,
it's real sus.
Sorry, Capcom. It's like, you're not getting my money this time.
Right. Nope. To me, it's another body piled up on the stack.
Yeah.
How many times does Xbox have to get hated on because it's the better console? If it wasn't the better console, there wouldn't be no parity. We wouldn't even be talking about this right now. Wouldn't be no hidden contracts getting hacked and leaked and spilled the beans everywhere. Listen, I've been saying this from day one. Xbox has been the better console, period. From day one, period. All right? The reasons why we're starting to see things come out is because Microsoft finally built something that can't be faded. So like I said, you can no longer make Xbox look bad. So now, why would I buy a game where last generation, the PlayStation fans they were throwing hissy fits over the fact that anytime a game, remember when Ubisoft was like, listen, we're making this game 900p here and 900p there. They said, we're not making the game, we're not going to put it on different consoles for different, because, one's better than one's selling more. We're putting it here because at 900p, whatever the resolution frame rates they were hitting, it was giving the game the best option. And it was like, if we go up, then we're going to have to take away from frame rate, which we don't want to do that. We don't want to compromise right. They couldn't understand that. They didn't want to compromise their intelligence as gaming developers, right? This is totally different. Okay? There wasn't no hidden contracts between Microsoft and Ubisoft to do that, okay? That was a developer call. Now watch this. This is the kind of stuff that gets me. Now, if you think this isn't fishy, let me read this off. And y'all tell me if this doesn't sound fishy. Okay. As part of a showcase, Capcom revealed output resolution and expected frame rate targets for the respective systems that Resident Evil Village will be releasing on. For the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, the game should be able to output at 4K HDR at 60 frames per second with ray tracing turned off. When ray tracing is on, it stays at 4K HDR, but has slightly fewer frames, maxing out at 45 frames per second instead. So we know that right there off that basis, the game was made for PlayStation 5. Bottom line. Now watch this. The Xbox, this is where there's no hiding behind the veil. This is about as clear. If you don't think this is highway robbery, listen to this. The Xbox Series S output is around 1440 HDR with 45 frames per second, dropping down to 30 frames per second when ray tracing is turned on. Now watch this. The PlayStation 4 Pro. Did y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The PlayStation 4 Pro handles relatively well at 1080p at 60 frames per second. Do you see where they sold the PlayStation at?
Mm-hmm.
Or y'all, did I look how they did the S? They made the S feel like you don't have an option. 1440p HDR with 45 frames per second, dropping down to 30 frames per second. What I wanted to say is that the only mode you have on the S? It's not. The S has two modes. It has a 1080p mode and a 1440p mode. So why didn't they give you the both scenarios? You know damn well if you turned that situation to 1080p on the S, it was going to do 60 frames per second.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they ain't saying that.
Nah.
They blindsiding people to make you think, oh, the S is underpowered by the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it is they stick to 45 frames.
Owners don't have to miss out entirely. Although expected output is considerably less at 900p and 45 frames per second, Resident Evil Village won't be the best experience, but it appears it'll still be able to run somewhat smoothly.
Really? Whoa. That's false 100% for a factual reason. One console has variable refresh, the other one doesn't.
Right.
You know which is which. So 45 with variable refresh is going to be better than 45 that's clipped down to 30 or 45 with a bunch of screen tearing. Even at a lower resolution. People have been asked. It doesn't even matter what system they cap for. People all over the gaming community have been asked, what do they prefer? Resolution or frame rate? They always say frame rate. There are some who say resolution, but that's like 5% out of the 100. Okay? Most people say frame rate. The Series S is going to give you the frame rate that the PlayStation 5 can't, because the PlayStation 5 doesn't have variable refresh. And it's easy to get a screen with variable refresh or even 120 hertz if you have a monitor or something. These PC monitors, especially if you have a Series S, that might mean you're a kid, you might be a college student. You're probably using a computer monitor. And the monitors with FreeSync and 120 hertz at 1440p are dirt cheap. The 1080p ones are even cheaper, but not by that much anymore because the pricing is starting to get to the same way. You may as well just get a 1440p. There's going to be more people who can take advantage of the frame rate and performance than there are people who can have
with that,
on the PS5.
With what you just said there, I totally, when I got the S and I was hooking it up to my desk here that I have my setup, I hook it up to my second monitor that I have to the right here, and hooked it up and started messing with the settings, and I totally forgot that this monitor is capable of 1440. Right?
Yeah.
And on the S, like, oh crap, I forgot. And it's like, not only that, it also 120 frames per second.
Does it do FreeSync?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
A lot of them do.
Not this one.
I guess a base level feature because it's really free for the on the monitor manufacturer.
I would have to look at the specs, but
it's quite a common thing too.
But I know that my main one does. I was very specific when I bought my main monitor that I needed the FreeSync. Right. And then the new monitors coming out in May. I'm already eyeballing the Acer Nitro, which is like almost $900 monitor, which I'm waiting for it to be pre-ordered. You know, I'm getting that one, and then some of these monitors are gonna be like shifted around a little bit. But yeah,
there's a lot of low-end cheap monitors that still have that feature set to really max out the game that you can't do in the other system.
The bottom line is Capcom is selling the game for PlayStation.
Yep.
I already know it's time.
You know, Legal, and we talked about this a few weeks back. It's like this does not make anybody look good, both the studio or Capcom and Sony. And thinking, why would Sony agree to something like this? You know, and you know, kind of, I don't know. It's just.
It's kind of pathetic. It's kind of pathetic in just in general. But yeah, I really gotta wrap this up because I gotta get this up.
Yeah. Well, we're 2 hours in.
But I think this was the last topic in anyway. So, but yeah, 2.5 hours did pretty good, man. Killed a lot of good topics.
Yep.
Anybody got anything else they want to say? Any closing comments?
Nah, man. Just thanks everybody in the chat, man, for coming out and talking here. Fireboss needs to click that little bell for notifications. He said he didn't know there was a show.
I put it all up on Twitter, my man. Click that notification bell.
Hey, how you guys liking the layout, man? I just I got this together at the last minute to get through.
Tech, sign us out, brother. Get us out.
Yeah, do it. Somebody.
Tech.
I'm good.
Sick, get us out of here, man. Sign us out.
Well, it's great to have everyone in the chat. Thanks for supporting. Hit that like button. You can check me out on GRG every Friday and at 7 p.m. Eastern for that Dragon's Den podcast. I have to go and prep for that right now myself. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Peace.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Tech.
Yep.
Later, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Chase the one up in life. New Legal Di-RREC Gaming. We out of here. See y'all next.